Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like.
What's up, everybody? Welcome in to the 615. It's your host, Lee Hills, and this is our final mock draft. And we are joined by Mike Herndon. Mike, how are you?
Doing good. I'm ready for this draft to get started.
Well, I'm going to throw this up. And this is how the mock draft panned out. Malik Neighbors at 7, Darius Robinson at 49. And of course, you see the trade with Cincinnati. Blake Fisher at 97. We go 3 straight defensive guys in Cole Bishop, Trevin Wallace, DeCamerion Richardson. Then we go Kendall Milton and Will Reichard. So I agree that this is a solid draft.
Yeah.
And I would not be disappointed if it fell like this for Tennessee. I would not be disappointed.
Yeah, I would like that haul quite a bit. I mean, the one spot or the two spots that I feel like, well, the one spot I feel like we didn't really get to address was like interior defensive line, because I do feel like Darius Robinson is mostly an edge, but he's such a like almost hybrid that you kind of fill two spots in one. At least you can rotate him in as an interior rusher on the passing downs, and then kick him out to be kind of a big run stuffing edge on early downs. So I think he's versatile enough that he kind of covers both bases for you. But I feel like we hit most of the big need spots and got some value.
You need to get that interior defensive lineman. It's like if you do decide to go that 3-4 set and you want to put Robinson on the edge, you need that other guy right there in the middle with Jeff and most likely Sebastian Day.
Exactly.
And of course, I talked to a guy last night in Trey Colbert from the University of Maryland. This dude's a monster. 6'3", 333. And the NFL record at the combine on the bench is 34 reps. At his pro day, he did 32 at 225.
Yeah.
He ran, I want to say it was a 5'2", 40 at his pro day. Nobody knew who this guy was until his pro day. He did 4 years in D2 at Angelo State. And then transferred to Maryland after 4 years at Angelo. I'm going to say this. If he's there as an undrafted free agent, yes, he's already talked the ball. But he played his the game, the Music City Bowl in Nashville against Auburn. He said Nashville felt more like home than Maryland did. Because he said Broadway is so much like some of the roads there in Austin.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's very similar.
And I'm like, I told him straight up, if you end up in Tennessee, I'll be in touch for sure.
Definitely.
But this mock draft, if you had to grade it, A plus through, let's say, D minus, what would you say?
I mean, I think that's an A haul. I mean, I think you got two guys that I would have first round grades on, and Neighbors and Robinson. And then
Yeah.
You still get your tackle. That I think is good. I think Blake Fisher's a good solution there. So yeah, I think that's an A haul for us there.
And I would go the same way. I'd probably go A minus because there's one guy that I really wanted to draft from that defensive line. By the time we got to him, he was already gone. And it was McKinley Jackson, who's already met with Tennessee.
Yeah, my favorite of those types of players in that range is Jordan Jefferson from LSU. But
Yeah.
McKinley Jackson is a good football player as well. So I think, yeah, it'd be an interesting. Those two are guys to watch on day 3, I think, for the Titans for sure.
Yeah. I would say either late day 2, if they do trade back with Cincy and get that 97, if they do end up going tackle in the first, let's just say if they do go Joe Wall they're at 7, and they end up going wide receiver there in the second, I think they address, if they do trade back with Cincinnati, I think they address that defensive line right there in the third or early fourth.
Yeah, I think that's probably a pretty good spot for that. There should be some value on the board at those points in the draft for that position, I think.
Well, as we get ready to get out of here, Mike, thanks for stopping in and doing this final mock draft, because we are
Absolutely.
we are little more than 24 hours from day 1 of this draft starting.
I'm ready.
Well, as I always say, stay classy and tight.